are now listening to The Dot.
What's going on, guys? Greg here, and you are tuned into the November 2023 edition of The Dot, the show where we go over all the best new music of the month and feature call-ins and songs from artists you may have overlooked in a busy month of new music. This is the last show of the year. We're going to follow this format as we go into December. That will be our yearly roundup. The Grammys are bullshit, episode 2K23. This year I'll go through my top albums of the year. We'll feature some songs that really stood out to some of the listeners and some of the bands that they want to give a nod to that came out this past year. So a lot of music news this month that I'll get to. I know last month was a little bit of a slower month when it came to music news. We didn't really have a segment. Quite the opposite this month here in November. So I'm excited to get to that. And we will start here with a duo from Los Angeles, from Echo Park, Los Angeles, who just released a new EP for us called Breakthrough. This is Isle and Fever, and it is the duo of Donald and Tiger. And on their website, in their About section, it says their method is simple and fluid. Pass around vintage instruments and the mic until a vibe catches. Rinse and repeat. So we're going to check out the song Breakthrough off the EP that came out this past month called Breakthrough. Track there from Isle and Fever to start out the November edition of The Dot. And let's go from Echo Park, LA to north of the border to Calgary, Canada, to the artist Frank Mighty, who released the EP FM Radio at the very end of October. This episode, we're going to go through releases between October 23rd and November 17th. This EP came out on October 26th. And Frank Mighty has gotten a lot of great press. He's worked with a lot of great producers. He actually had a song back in 2021 that was featured on Netflix's series Ginny and Georgia, and he did call in to tell us about the song Howling that we are going to listen to. So we're going to dip into the single Howling off that EP FM radio, and then we'll bring Frank Mighty on to the dot to tell us a little bit about the song. Enjoy.
I wanna know if I call, do you come through? There's a place in the sky, I'm falling soon. Already here in the corner, we can do what you wanna. I know you got a darker side. Know the feeling ain't foreign. Tell me what you really wanna. Could show you where the monster hides. 5 in the morning, still sinking your teeth. I warned you, and now you're howling. You're sinking your teeth, it's your turn. When you kill what you seek, it don't hurt. And now we're
Frank Mighty. Thanks so much for having me on the dot. Howling started in Los Angeles in March of 2022. Graydon, my collaborator, and we went down to work with Franz Mernick, and it really just started out of 2 chords. We just played those chords over and over, and recorded them, and then actually did something that I never really do, and we just put like a heavy dose of auto-tune, and I just started singing just different melodies and different ideas, and a couple of them really stuck, and we just kind of ran with this idea of howling, because that's kind of what I was singing. That's what some people heard, even though that's not exactly what I was saying. What I was just saying was gibberish, but then that kind of we kind of rolled with that idea and the inspiration of the journey of a werewolf. We didn't really take ourselves too serious, because we'd just come off writing a few more kind of serious songs about commitment, and we just rolled with this idea of a werewolf torn between being a werewolf. He's primal, but he's also in search for acceptance, and writing about what werewolves do at night. And the idea at the bottom of everything is they're just like a human, they just want love. But yeah, the song was really fun to write, and we really didn't take it too seriously, which I think, added to the vibe of the song. But what I also took a lot of inspiration from as we wrote the song was the movie What We Do in the Shadows by Taika Waititi, because it's goofy, but it's got really great sentiment underneath. And I think that's what I like to do with a lot of my songs. But thank you so much for listening. This song is called Howling. I'm Frank Mighty. Appreciate you listening to me here on the dot.
I've been afraid of myself, but not with you. Already here in the corner, we can do what you wanna. I know you got a darker side. Know the feeling ain't foreign. Tell me what you really wanna. Could show you where the monster hides. 5 in the morning, still sinking your teeth. I warned you, and now you're howling. You're sinking your teeth, it's your turn. When you kill what you seek, it don't hurt. And now we're
Awesome track there from Frank Mighty. Really appreciated the insight he gave us into that song Howling. Really interesting how that song came together and some of the inspiration behind it. So we started the episode with Isle and Fever and a song off an EP they released this past month. We just heard Frank Mighty's song Howling off the EP he released this past month. So let's go to another artist who just released an EP. This is Jordan Lindley, who released his EP, Maybe It'll All Work Out Part 1 on November 17th. Jordan Lindley is an indie rock artist originally from Oklahoma City, and he is now Nashville based. And I really want to give Jordan Lindley a shout out for the songwriting that really had me coming back to this specific track. The whole EP was good, but this specific track I kept replaying, not only because it was catchy, but because the songwriting was so good. So Jordan did call in to introduce this song we're going to listen to called I Didn't Even Miss You. I'll throw it over to him.
Hello, this is Jordan Lindley. Thank you so much for having me on the dot. You're about to hear a song of mine called I Didn't Even Miss You, which is the third single from my EP that was just recently released. Maybe It'll All Work Out, Part 1. The song itself was mostly written into a voice memo on a drive home from a person's place that was not good for me. It sort of walks through the internal monologue and anxieties and conflicting feelings I was having at that time, feeling like you've moved on, but still finding yourself with overlapping, annoying feelings for something that's pretty toxic. But it felt like a true, genuine conversation that I was having with myself, no matter how non-shiny or pretty the feelings were. A lot of the time, our emotions don't make logical sense, but it doesn't mean that they aren't there. So anyway, this is my song, I Didn't Even Miss You. Thanks again. Hope you enjoy.
Half awake in the driveway, weighing the options, go or stay. If this was a movie, sure I'd stay. But it's not, so I don't. Wide awake on the freeway, adjusting the mirrors, talking them on. Advice as if life is a Springsteen song. But it's not at all. Traffic is absent, eerily still. I'm on a deep dive, driving quickly or slowly, can't tell. Figures you'd miss me. What did the tea leaves read? I see you drink tea now. How cool, fuck off. I didn't even miss you. Half a mind to go ape shit. Who touches legs? How you touch legs? You act like you're touchy with all your friends. But you know what you do. And I feel the cold ravage my face. How could somebody's whole world quake from the memory you were a ghost? Figures you miss me right as I'm happy. I think I'm happy as can be. I'm serious, I am. Didn't even miss you till now.
Lindley with the song I Didn't Even Miss You. I bet you didn't think that song was going to get to that point, but great song, great lyrics like I talked about at the top, and it was a great description from Jordan about that song. Check out that entire EP, Maybe It Will All Work Out Part 1, assuming there will probably be a Part 2 coming up in the near future. Let's go to a standalone single now after going over to a couple EPs and to Catherine Moan, who released her single Undo, Undo at the very end of October. Catherine Moan released her debut album a few years ago called Chain Reaction back in 2021. And Bandcamp had two things to say about Catherine Moan. They said Catherine Moan is a time-bending pop project, and then Catherine Moan is electro-pop with a nostalgic, dreamy feel. Why don't we have Catherine Moan tell us about this new single, Undo, Undo.
Catherine Moan, and thanks for having me on the dot. You're listening to my new standalone single, Undo, Undo. This song is about wanting to erase a terrible or embarrassing mistake you've made and coming to terms with what you can't change. The idea came out of this quiet rage I was experiencing at the time, where I felt like the only way out was to erase everything from my mind. You know, if only life had something as simple as an undo button, and if only you could undo something you've already undone. Well, unfortunately, you can't, so get used to it. You're listening to The Dot, and here's Undo, Undo.
Catherine Moan with the song Undo, Undo, the standalone single that came out at the very end of October. I really enjoyed her call in. All right, so this is the part where I'm going to go through all the music news and album releases. A lot of words are coming at you here, so if you're not into this, fast forward and we'll get back to the music. But starting on the music news, when it comes to the actual releases, the Andre 3000 album, the Flute album, is really what stole the headlines when it comes to the new albums being released this past month. Other great music news, especially in the hip-hop world, Missy Elliott becomes the first female rapper into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Well deserved. Also, going over to country music, Tracy Chapman becomes the first black writer to ever win CMA's Song of the Year with Fast Car, which of course got brought back into the mainstream with Luke Combs' cover this past year. So very well deserved for those two artists. Snoop Dogg stopped smoking weed, which is huge news. And P. Diddy allegations, not going to talk a lot about those, but P. Diddy blowing up Kid Cudi's car after threatening to blow up Kid Cudi's car. He came through with that promise. So pretty crazy stuff. We are in the time of year where we're starting to see music festival lineups being released. We saw Shaky Knees get released, Primavera of Sound, Rolling Loud, Bonnaroo, Rue Clues are starting to come. So as we get into December, especially in January, we're going to start to see all those roll out. They're a really good indication as to who's touring next year if it's not announced already. So keep eyes on that. Even if you're not going to the festival, see who's going to those festivals, because those are artists you'll get a chance to see at least this spring into summer and maybe early fall 2024. We also got some good news on the front of new albums coming, really starting to tip hats to what's coming to us when it comes to album releases in 2024. LCD Sound System is back in the studio. Their last album was back in 2017. 2017 when they gave us American Dream. Really looking forward to that. MGMT officially announces a new album coming out at the end of February 2024. The Smile, that's Tom York's project, is going to come out with a new album. So really excited to start to hear about what's going on next year. Like I say, every time you go into a new year, they're all great when it comes to music being released. Okay, let's do the rundown. Let's hop from Friday to Friday for the albums that were released this past month. Like I said, we're going to go from the end of October, the last Friday of October. This episode goes all the way through the second to last Friday in November. Last Friday of October the 27th, we got new albums from Ace Hood, Angie McMahon, great album from Angie McMahon, Brent Faiyaz, Destin Conrad, really good R&B artist. He comes through with another great project. Duran Duran comes out with a new album, cool to see. King Giz and the Liz Wiz give us another weird album, very on brand for them. Mayer Hawthorne released a new album. We got the 1989 Taylor's Version album came out at the end of October. We also got new albums from the Gaslight Anthem and Wild Nothing. Headed to that first Friday in November, we got a really good album from Arctic Lake. Arctic Lake is known by me because she's featured on a lot of Lane 8's music. She is usually the vocals, but her standalone music's really good as well. Crystal Fighters released a new album in a very long time, one of my personal favorite bands. Good albums from Ian Sweet, Jockstrap. Kevin Abstract released his big solo album post-breakup from Brockhampton. Majid Jordan came out with a surprisingly good album. They came out really hot when they started their career. I think they kind of dipped off a little bit, but came back strong with this new album. The Alchemist, one of the best producers out there, gave us another good project, and Takei Maidza, really good album from her. The 10th of November, we got that Cannons album. We saw a lot of singles from Cannons being released. Chris Stapleton, Can Do No Wrong, he gave us a great album. Kuko, Kodak Black, Lost Frequencies, the producer, gave us a good one. Pink Panthers, who's really starting to come into stardom. I think it's pretty well deserved. The album was pretty solid. Rick Ross and Meek Mill gave us a joint project, and it really was a throwback to Meek Mill's prime. I really enjoy hearing new songs from Meek and the Kid Laroi. A lot of respect to the Kid Laroi. He's really blown up here over the past couple of years. Now, that last Friday in November that we are covering, the 17th, we got a project from 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne. This is where the Andre 3000 Flute album came out. These albums I'm still kind of processing, so I won't say a lot about that. Danny Brown, Dolly Parton, Drake gave us the B-side of his album. John Vincent III came out with what sounded like a really good project, and Kurt Vile gave us a great album. So it still was a busy month of new releases here in November. Like I talked about at the top of the episode, next month we're not really going to do a rundown as much as go over the awards of the year and some of my favorite projects, as well as do the top 20 albums of the year countdown. So looking forward to that. Okay, back to the music and to Chicago, to the artist Huron John, who released his album Indigo Jack this past month. This is Huron John's first project since 2021, and he did a great interview with Ones to Watch about this new album. And Ones to Watch said about Huron John that embracing a fresh and disruptive take on his own signature style of indie pop, Indigo Jack sees Huron John experimenting with new sounds and ideas after a long and transformative hiatus. So let's throw it over to Huron John to tell us about this song we're going to listen to called 3D Pictures.
Hey, this is Huron John here in Nashville. Thank you for having me on the dot. You're about to hear my song 3D Pictures in a couple seconds here. It's off my new album. It's called Indigo Jack and the New World Border. It's a double album, and the song 3D Pictures is off the part 1, the first disc. It's called Indigo Jack, which just came out a couple weeks ago. A little bit about the song. It's kind of just like some nice, juicy synth pop. But, yeah, nice little breakdown in the middle, very reminiscent and inspired by the 70s. A lot of kind of stuff like Supertramp and things like that. The lyrics, you know, all about being in the present moment, and I guess that's kind of cliche, but being too preoccupied with both your past and the future and wanting to be anywhere except now at certain points, if you will. Anyway, enjoy. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Feel like a slow day. Oh yeah, I'm not afraid.
is East Forest. Thanks for having me on the dot. Thanks for listening to the song Comeback from Music for the Deck of the Titanic. This was a fun song. It kind of allowed me to sort of drop into a LCD sound system kind of vibe. And I originally recorded this as just solo piano. And then Mary M came in, which is a wonderful singer, and we were collaborating. And I remember I had this piano track, so I sort of made some beats around it. And then we started riffing on the lyrics or the vocal lines going back and forth. And I love the kind of call and response of my little vocals and then hers. And then after that, I was like, this would be jamming with real drums and upright bass. So it got Jens Karras on the drums, recorded that in the studio, and Owen Hoffman-Smith on the bass. And then things really started to take off. So it feels anthemic, it feels fun, but I love the idea of a comeback being like, has two different meanings. So I'll let you play with that.
You know. You always knew from where you came is where we'll go. They say it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. It's gonna come back to me, to me. We always know it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back to me, to me. Try to remember. Try to remember. To me, to me.
Huron John right into East Forest with that really cool track called Come Back, and that's off the album. It's called Music for the Deck of the Titanic. So how's that for an album name? I love that. Let's keep it moving here at the 30-minute mark. Let's go to Park City, Utah, and I'm going to throw it over to the artist Buppy, who released his EP at the very end of October called Names and Places. We're going to check out the song Kira off that EP.
Hey guys, this is Buppy. Thanks to the Dot for having me. You're about to hear Kira off my new EP, Names and Places. This song is about a love story back in Utah, where I'm from. And it was a tumultuous one, to say the least. But I love this song. I've had this song for about 2 years now. And we've changed the demo a lot since I first recorded it. We built it out of a garage in Hollywood. The drums were played by my drummer. The bass was played by my bassist. The guitar was played by my guitarist. So there's a lot of life in this one, and I hope you enjoy it. All right.
Checking on my phone for your message. Been a little while since you texted. Show me that you're mine. Pretty little nose with a septum. Wait till I get home and undress you. Show you that you're mine. Oh, Kira, come spend the night with me. I'll fill you up till you wanna leave.
Hi, this is TVAM, and thanks for having me on the dot. You're about to listen to Costa Sol, which is the title track from my new EP out on Invader Records. Costa Sol started out as an instrumental track on my last album, High Art Light, as like a bit of a scene setting track, featuring lots of like water sounds, and it was like a track kind of played on a radio somewhere in the distance. And I started to work on it more and more and got some lyrics together for it, and it felt like a track that had a presence of its own. It had a lot of there's a lot of longing in it, a lot of kind of wishing for something that happens, and it kind of brings you into that mindset of sort of failed romance on holiday. So as I was working through it with mate of mine, James Travascus, who mixed the High Art Light and mixed the Costa Sol EP, we decided that it'd be really good to get a female vocalist on it. So Mona from Robbie and Mona happily sort of joined the project, and she did it. So we ended up doing it as it's like a duet in the end, which I think gives it a nice sort of character to it, and a nice feel for it. So yeah, this is Costa Sol.
Right into TVAM with that song Coast a Soul off the EP Coast a Soul, and as TVAM told us there, that was featuring Mona. And TVAM is the only artist on the episode this month outside of North America, as they are from Manchester, UK. And there was a nice article about a local venue in Northampton called the Black Prince, and TVAM is going to be playing a gig there at the end of January. And the article said that TVAM on the Saturday will be boundary pushing excitement as they mix electronica and psychedelic to stunning effect. So should be a pretty cool gig if you are out there. So that is going to bring us to the end of the episode. This month we checked out Isle&amp, Frank Mighty, Jordan Lindley, Catherine Moan, Huron John, East Forest, Buppy. We just heard TVAM, and we're going to get played out by the duo of Sexy Pigeon. That's correct, Sexy Pigeon, with their song Loving You More that came out at the very end of October. This is a duo based out of Mexico, and it's a duo of Robin and Daryl, who met each other hitchhiking in Northern California and became best friends and are now releasing great music. Guys, thank you so much for listening yet again. Just a reminder, next month will be the Grammys Are Bullshit 2K23 edition, where we'll go over some of our favorite music of the year. I'll do the top 20 albums of the year countdown. Very excited for that. As we get to the end of the year, if some bands are touring, do what you can to see them live. Maybe their merch could be good gift ideas for your loved ones around the holidays. And always remember,
it only happens once a month, so you must be on the dot.